Death, Texas, and Tacos is brought to you by Arrowwood Law Firm and Grange Hall.
Okay, y'all. Everyone sit down, shut your damn mouths, and open up your ears. Because it's time for Death, Texas, and Tacos with my boys, Brad and Barry, the Klinge Brothers, and the OG ghost brother himself, Mr. Steve Harris. Have y'all ever wondered what it would feel like if the paranormal got kicked in the balls? Well, you about to find out.
So it's all day Saturday.
She's leaving when?
Friday night. Come back Sunday.
What's that on McAllen?
Her aunt, she's taking a car to her aunt, her and her brother. She's taking a car to her aunt, her and her brother.
Oh, okay. We have my mom's from the valley.
No, she is.
But we have an uncle lives in McAllen. So we know it quite well. Go bird hunting down. Used to go bird hunting down there all the time. We haven't gone down.
No, we used to spend our summers down there. We used to take the Trailways bus. Bus stop was right there at Pat Booker.
Gosh.
Me, him, and my grandma would get on a bus because that's where she's from.
She didn't drive. She didn't have a license.
Heat of summer, driving down there. We spent all summer with my uncle down. He worked for John Deere Trucker. We go to work with him. We fish. We do the best story ever though. We're in this Trailways bus, right? Brad's you're probably like what? 5, 6,
4 or 5, maybe.
4 or 5. He shits his pants on the bus.
Bad. Diarrhea bad. It was funny.
From the food down there?
No, because
No,
we were
going
down
there.
Oh.
It was just like, you make stops along the way, but it was just so hot. The AC's barely working. He shits his pants.
Oh,
I remember my
Pants full of hot foam.
my grandma's in the bathroom washing his shit out. It was funny as hell, man.
But I mean, what's funny
Good
is
times.
4 or 5. You don't remember a lot of your 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I specifically remember that trip. I just hated the hot bus and
Your stomach is
shit in
hurting?
your pants and
Nothing like a hot bus and shit in your pants.
Yeah. Sounds like a movie.
Oh, before they were Ghost Lab, they were shitting their pants on the buses.
Hot bus shitting in your
show him where he shit his pants at Niagara Falls. Oh man!
Ooh, hey, we always segue into our shows with some good topics, and now we're talking about shit in your pants. So
Well,
usually
what's
it's
funny,
about
what
sodas.
people
and
don't realize
snacks.
is that what I do is just before we get to the show, I turn the recorders on, and these you literally are jumping into the conversations as they're happening. So these are not staged conversations. This is what's happening. But then we try to segue into our show, and we can because we're talking about shitting our pants, and that's a lot more fun than talking about. But no, this is a fun topic today.
Yeah, tonight, so now we're going to talk about, during Ghost Lab, we worked with a lot of people, producers, cameramen, audio guys. It was just a big army of people that did this show, and every once in a while, we kind of butted heads a little bit with the producers and the higher ups of the networks. And we have a few stories today to tell of kind of how these things turned out in the end. And sometimes I don't want to say lost, but sometimes we won. So it was just it was an ongoing, especially season 2 was probably
I would say it was
Season
kind of
1,
in between both. Season 1, they thought that they could really push us.
You're right.
But then they realized that they couldn't, and so season 2 is a little bit. But we definitely stood our ground, and we did give in a couple of times, but we didn't give in to the point where we sacrificed our integrity. But we gave it enough just to kind of make them go away. But some of these stories, well, anyway, we'll start it off with
probably start from
the very first.
First, you got to probably
episode.
set up how an actual production works. So you have producers who are there, who like kind of your field producers. They're the ones that are running the stories, making sure the shots are getting. You have executive producers, who are your guys that are connected to the network. Those are the liaisons between the network and the actual producers. And there's notes going back and forth. Every time we film something, something's found, something's discovered, whatever. The notes go to the network. They kind of come back and say, hey, you might want to do this or you might want to do that. And that's where some of the conflicts came with when these notes come back of things that they want us to do rather than what we need to do.
These are Hollywood types, mind you. It's like they're not paranormal investigators, and they think that they know how to film a paranormal show. And I got news for them. They didn't half the time. But the very first episode, it's like, so we get Ghost Lab, right? We're all excited. We go to Shreveport Municipal Auditorium. Very first one, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. I mean, here we are, the Everyday Paranormal team, and we're together. And they pull all these cameras, and we have the Ghost Lab, which we kind of built ourselves.
Yeah, and we just met everybody. The day before,
just met everybody. And we're at the municipal auditorium. It's late at night. We're getting ready to film. We're going to investigate. And they say, and camera speeds, audio speeds, and action. And we're like, okay, now what?
What do I do?
So at that moment, and I think we came across really well, because at that moment we said, you know what? This is just like any other investigation. These are just extra cameramen.
Yeah.
The guys with the audio equipment, that it's really cool audio that we can use for our investigation. Let's treat them like they're investigators, and let's do it. And it worked. It worked for us.
Right.
One of the things that people don't realize, though, that first investigation is Katie Burr, and how Katie Burr actually came a part of the team. We had we met a guy named Mike when we were Everyday Paranormal. We wanted someone to film our investigation.
Yeah, we put out an ad
on YouTube. Yeah, so we put out an ad for a videographer because Barry wasn't cutting it. So we met him at Jim's restaurant. He went to Full Sail University. He was a film graduate. He knew what he was doing. Right? You hired. You know how we are. We like you. Like your personality. You're hired.
Right.
You're hired, and we're not paying you anything.
I know. I was about to say that. I was like, he was getting paid.
Yeah, no.
Welcome aboard.
But so he started going with us, and he went to the Merles and stuff with us. Well, then we did the GDC building, which was a Ghost Lab episode at one time.
He was also the person that was also putting our videos on YouTube at the time.
Yeah, he kind of helped edit them and stuff like that. He had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend was Katie. Okay, and when we were at GDC at a public event one time, she happened to be there, and I kind of met her in passing. I think he introduced her or whatever. Well, when we filmed. When we started filming Ghost Lab, we liked Mike, and we told the production company, hey, give him a job. He's a film guy. He went to school for it.
Right.
What'd they do? Gave him a job on the spot. Assistant cameraman. That's unheard of for someone who just got out of school to be an assistant cameraman on a production, on a national production.
Exactly.
So went to Shreveport, and he brought his girlfriend, Katie, along. Well, right before they said camera speed, audio speed, action, Al, the executive producer, looks around, sees Katie sitting on a lawn chair, and says, hey, y'all have an extra Everyday Paranormal shirt? I'm like, yeah. You have in small or medium, whatever size she wears? She's like, yeah. He goes, threw it to her, said, put it on, you're on the team now. Boom, right there. Katie Burr is on Everyday Paranormal.
That's the first bump in the road right there.
Yeah, we needed the token blonde girl, I guess, on the show. So that's how. And like I said, even when she was there, I didn't even know her at all.
Yeah,
at all.
Al didn't ask us.
No, it was told to us.
But it was told to us as we were getting ready, literally as they were turning the cameras on.
Right.
She jumped in. Well, we had Ashley was the girl who was on our team.
And she was on our team.
And she was on our team. She was the only one that was there, the only other female.
Yep.
And then Steve Hawk, Hector, you, and Barry and I. And Jason Warden. I don't know if Jason was at Shreveport or not. I don't think he was. But anyway, so we're filming, and then some drama started to happen. You know, we talked about drama before. We don't want drama. This drama's bullshit. Yeah. You know, we make fun of other shows that are drama.
Man, it goes back to what we said before on other shows. We didn't know her.
Yeah,
we didn't know who she was or what she was about.
So two things happened during the investigation that kind of sparked some drama, sparked some emotions. First of all, Ashley, I don't think was too keen on Katie being there because it was like kind of like
another
the two
female
thing going on. Yeah,
cat fight going on.
And so I think that there was a little animosity there. Like, hey, wait a second, you know, I've been a part of this team for how long, and all of a sudden this girl here. And the other thing was, you know, Steve Hawk was wanting, you know, some attention, so he would go out and do EVP sessions on his own in the grain, kind of like when we talked about the John Wilkes Booth. The you know, like, why'd you do it?
No, I remember that because I think we started that. We had a great idea of you on stage. You had a full band. You're singing one of Elvis's songs.
Yeah,
and then the Steve Hawk felt like, hey, I you know,
I can do that.
I can do that too.
I can do that too. And so after that, so he went in, he was in the auditorium, and he was, no, I don't know what he was singing. We weren't in there.
Yeah, exactly.
But Hector was up in the balcony.
You could hear him, though, all the way across the thing.
Hector was up in the balcony of this huge auditorium and started howling.
Yeah. I remember that.
Pissed him off.
Yeah.
Well, so Katie and Ashley are having their little spat. Hector and Steve are having their little spat, and they all kind of come, and then Ashley's crying, and they come running to me, and you're sitting right by me by the truck,
right.
remember? And she's crying, and they're making fun of me. And just those assholes are howling. Well, I'm trying to do an investigation and blah. And here come the cameras. It's like out of nowhere.
It popped out of nowhere. Yeah, I remember that.
Shadow people out of the ground.
Like, all of a sudden, it was like I felt like, oh shit, we're on the fucking real world.
Yeah, and
that's what this is going to turn into. That's what they wanted to turn into. You could tell.
No, but the thing.
Uh-oh.
An abduction alert. But you could tell that they.
How come mine didn't go off?
Yours will probably go off in a minute.
No, shoot, I don't even know where mine's at. Okay.
It's probably Steve being abducted.
That's those sons of bitches. I'll get them.
Yes.
He's on his way.
I'm going to ruin the podcast
Steve Hawk
right now.
kidnapped him. Oh, there's mine. There we go.
Oh, yeah. All right. What were you saying?
No, I was saying I could see. It was weird because I could see in the producer's eyes, the camera guys.
Salivating.
Yeah, drama.
Finally.
Yeah.
Draw, yeah. There we go.
Finally, we were 10 minutes into the fucking investigation.
Yeah.
And they were smiling, and they had the cameras on us.
This is what I'm used to filming right here.
Yeah, and I remember Brad going, wait. And Brad's like, wait, stop. And then me and you go off to the back of a truck.
And they follow us.
And no, at first they didn't see, I didn't see him first because we were talking, and you go, I don't want this to go. I go, well, Brad, we can either go drama. It's like a fork in the road.
Yep.
You need to go drama or go the other way, being serious. And then as we were talking, I saw a camera come up on your side and one come up on my side. And they started
were
filming
trying to get that conversation.
Yeah.
And, well, maybe we should have took the other fork in the road and we would have gone over in 2 seasons.
Seeing all the drama and all the other shows, we might be so on TV.
Shit, man, Steve,
Damn it.
Steve,
Steve,
made the wrong
you blew
choice.
it. Yeah, way to go, Steve.
Could have been on because
It's all my fault.
No, but so I made the camera stop rolling. Barry and I had to talk with Al, the producer, and the other one was there, Gary, and we said, "Listen, we do not want a drama show. We don't want the real world. We don't want keeping up with the Kardashians paranormal style. This is supposed to be scientific. This is supposed to be ghost type discovery," and they agreed. So at that point, we did. We moved down the fork in the road and we won. That was one that we won.
Well, also I think it's because of the channel we were on. I don't even think Discovery would have wanted the drama.
If it was TLC, maybe they would have fought us. But yeah, I think you're right that they said, nah, that's not going to fly here.
I have a little side story about producers. I didn't know how powerful the executive producer was. When I think you guys were filming, and of course you're going to laugh. I was at Crafty. And
really,
the whole crew,
shocker.
Half the crew was at Crafty, and I walk in there, and then everybody's kind of, how like they said you're not supposed to talk to the talent. Mm-hmm. But I was sitting there and I was talking to people, and then I said something that made everybody laugh, and here comes Gary, and everybody shuts up like that, and I was like, why did everybody shut up? And he goes, hey, we're filming in here. Everybody's grabbed their food, and they all just left, like, oh my god, like I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Gary. I didn't know that you were filming." "Oh no, Steve. Everything's good.
You're the talent, man. You can do whatever you want."
He put his hand on my back. He's like, "Is here?
Can I butter your bread for you, Steve?"
Yeah. He goes, "Anything you want on the table?" I was like, "What?" That's when I realized. Oh.
And then when you don't have a show, they don't even know your fucking name.
Yeah, exactly.
The good old days. Yeah.
No, yeah, but that's right. I mean, they do have the choice, and they they can override you, and we don't know what the edits are going to be like, so maybe that they add something in, we don't know. But we won that day. Everyday Paranormal 1, producer 0. Well, then we go to Catfish Plantation.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Remember Catfish Plantation?
Yeah, we got some good stuff at Plantation.
We got some
real
food
good
at Catfish
stuff.
Plantation.
I was excited about that one.
So Catfish Plantation, if you don't know, is a little restaurant up in Waxahachie, Texas, near Dallas. It's just an old, like country cooking type restaurant. Super haunted by the lady who used to own the place.
It's an old house.
Old house. Yeah, it's actually their house. They turned it
Tiny.
into a restaurant.
Is that restaurant still around? Is it
Still there.
Yeah.
It's still there. But we've done events there after Ghost Lab. But we roll in Ghost Lab. The first night we caught remember the pocket door moving.
Right.
Caught it moving on camera.
But we debunked it because there was a train coming by.
Well, we thought it was a train.
Was it?
I think they went that way to try to debunk it. But
Okay.
Still, the door's moving. Anyways, we caught that.
I remember that because it was going back and forth.
But the probably one of the best piece of evidence we've ever caught, I would think, on Ghost Lab. I'm sitting in the back dining room area with the owner's mom. Actually, they're the owner.
Steve, please silence your cell phone.
I thought I did.
But I'm in the back, and I'm talking to the actual owner, and we're just talking about the ghost and what she's experienced and blah, blah. So we start wrapping up. The cameras turn their cameras off and they're kind of walking off. All of a sudden, I heard this noise of something hitting the table and something hitting the floor. I had my back to it. I had no idea what it was. Well, what it was, the night before, we had put in the entire restaurant silverware and salt shakers in precarious situations, like
odd situations,
balance in different places.
Yeah, we were setting up stuff for them
because one of the claims there is
this one wasn't precarious. It wasn't balanced. No. This was solid. This one here.
And the reason why we're messing with the silverware because one of the major claims there is your silverware will cross when you're not looking. So that's one of the claims. So we put this knife. It's just a butter knife. We put it in like a vase, like a little flower vase,
a single flower vase.
Yeah.
And it was deep. I mean, you think about the length of a butter knife. It was probably 3/4 the way up the butter knife inside this vase. That knife came out of that vase somehow. I didn't see it. Hit the table, hit the floor. We're like, what? We were like freaking out. And this is the middle of the day. It's like 3 p.m.
Right? Yeah.
Y'all are out. Everyone's out in the ghost lab chilling out.
I was out there too with you. And he comes out there and says, "Man,
well, I called you. I called you. You came in and go, you see the infrared light on. The fucking camera's on.
It's on.
It is on.
Finally.
It is on. Here we go. This time we didn't bring the client with us, so we all run out there.
We knew from the April story not to
and sure as shit, you see that knife just flip.
Shoot up.
It goes up against gravity. And flips and falls out of the
I remember, I do remember the producers on that. I remember, like, we were sitting there, whoa, we were all excited. They go, stop, because their cameras weren't rolling. They were like, roll the cameras.
It's like, I don't care.
We don't care. We just kept going.
And another thing that they did that we noticed a little bit later was there was an actual shadow that moved under the table, like real quick.
Right.
And right as it moved under the table, that's when the knife shot up in the air. So, but they didn't play the shadow part.
No.
I think we found it later. But the knife fucking flew up in the air.
And landed,
I mean, it was like a John Wilkes Booth moment. It was, we're high-fiving, the ghost lab is rocking because we're jumping up and down. And the producers are excited, right? Well.
And it kind of goes, that was late in the afternoon. We investigate that night. I don't think it was to the next day. It's kind of when the notes came back.
Yeah, because it would have really been a Debbie Downer moment if it happened right immediately.
So the notes come back. Like I talked about before, they come back from Discovery. Hey, we saw the evidence. We saw what happened, what transpired. And we're not real sure we want to call that paranormal. We want to.
What would you call that?
It's a fucking ghost show.
Fucking ghost show. That's what you fucking want,
right?
And hands down paranormal. Like, knives do not fly against gravity up in the air, flip, and hit the table. So, but
there's
Al's
no string. There was no nothing.
No, and Al's sitting there, and he's like, guys, it's the Discovery Channel. They're the one that's playing the show, and you kind of got to do what they want. And so we were sitting for 2 hours. I said, no, I'm not going to say what they wanted us to say. Did you say that already?
Mm-mm.
What they wanted us to say was, well, it's possible that the knife could have fallen out of the jar. Bullshit. The knife could not have fallen out of the jar.
Especially when you have it on video and you see it go up. That the first motion is up.
Right.
And so that's what we kept explaining to them. Well, it went on for weeks. It went on for a while. I mean, so you know how we film and a lot of things aren't finished until weeks and weeks later. We do pickup shots, things like that. It still was not solved.
We weren't saying it. We refused. We're not
because Discovery at the time, they wanted a ghost show, but they didn't want a ghost show. They didn't want to look like a bunch of hacks out there.
That was
all
season
these,
one,
all this,
right?
everything's paranormal, all this ghost stuff. They want to make sure that this was
we had the
real.
video cleaned up by a professional.
Yeah, they lightened it up and cleaned it up. It even looked better.
It looked even better. Even more damning evidence. But no, so they basically saying we have to say that it could have. He's like, you know what? You're just kind of playing both sides. It could have fallen out. I said, but no. But this is what every paranormal investigator wants. They want this. This is like the proof. And now I got
especially on video. Yeah.
So you see, there's a scene with Barry and I where Barry's like, well,
first thing is before we got to that final decision, we went to McPike Mansion.
No.
For the second time,
we filmed it could have fallen out. We did that first.
Right. But that was, I thought, at McPike.
No. McPike was where we put our foot down.
Okay, that's right.
So we filmed, we ended up giving in and said, fine. I'll sit there and say, well, okay, maybe it could have fallen out. And you could tell when you watched it is not genuine.
Yeah, watch that scene. You can tell we're not thrilled.
But then what Barry's talking about is we went. It wasn't McPike. We went to Chattanooga, Tennessee, to the Delta Queen. Remember the paddle boat?
Yeah, paddle boat.
And we were filming pickups. And if you know what pickups are, is basically they need to do transition scenes for other episodes that they didn't get. So they'll get us at the Ghost Lab saying, hey, let's go into this room and whatever. They transition it that way. But we're really not at the place. It's just a transition. Well, at McPike, they wanted to do a transition for Catfish Plantation. And here come the notes from the producers, okay, from Hollywood. And this is where we put our foot down. And they didn't even say it. They handed us the notes to say, these are the notes. And we're reading them, and it says, Brad say a line that... well, it's not like we caught a knife flying out of a jar or anything. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that?
Well, you did catch a knife. Right?
No, what it is, I didn't know what it was. And so the producers are explaining to me, well, we're trying to transition, to that scene.
So what they want to say is like, hey, we've caught some evidence here at the Catfish Plantation. It's good evidence, but it's not like we caught a knife coming out of the jar or anything.
And then
and all of a sudden, we catch a knife coming.
Oh,
I said, God. Are you freaking stupid? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
We're going to look so fake if we said that. We said, nope. No, we said, you can fire us right now.
Said, nope, ain't going to happen.
You can fire us. This show ends. We do not say that.
Right.
Unless you get some ventriloquist dummies that look like it say, we're not saying
it was just me, Brad, now. Unless you want to buck up and you think you're going to fight your way out of this Ghost Lab.
It's on. It's like, we will beat your ass.
No, it ain't happening, period. You come up with some other plan, but that is not the plan.
So the score now is like, I guess we lost the one about...
It was a tie
on that one. So 1-1-1. So I think we're still ahead 2-1 on this one. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all, let's take a minute to talk about the people who pay for all this shit here. So do us a favor and listen up.
Have you found yourself facing DUI charges?
Arrowwood Law Firm.
Have you had your license suspended?
Arrowwood Law Firm.
In the middle of a nasty divorce?
Arrowwood Law Firm.
Then call Jeff Arrowwood of Arrowwood Law Firm. 850-244-JEFF. That's 850-244-5333. With offices in Fort Walton Beach, Tallahassee, and Tampa, Florida. He's here to help fellow Floridians. Call Jeff Arrowwood. 850-244-JEFF.
Arrowwood Law Firm.
Now back to Death, Texas, and Tacos with the Klinge Brothers and Steve Harris.
All right, we are back. Before the break, we were talking about the Catfish Plantation and those damn producers.
I can tell that a couple of times I've noticed, like, I see the producers talking, and then I said, okay, we got to tell the brothers. And I could see their faces sometimes.
I hated talking to them.
They hated talking to you, too. I was trying to keep from laughing. I was like,
Damn Klinge Brothers.
And then the approaches, they're kind of like, they kind of all nervous and wormy.
Well, Brad, it's going to be like this, not like that. Can you just say it?
Well,
can you humor us?
But that's funny because they realized that in season 2, the Hundley house, remember Corey?
Yeah.
They tried to avoid Barry and
exactly. No, I remember that.
God. Steve, do you know what the silent button is on your phone?
I did put it on the silent.
That's 3 times.
That's paranormal right there.
A lot of people get abducted in Texas right now.
No, that's his wife saying, where the hell are you?
You're past your hour limit.
No,
dude.
that's my sister, actually.
But no, Hundley House, Corey, they tried to bypass Barry and I because, remember, we got there, the place was dead. I mean, literally, there's nothing going on.
Yeah, I remember that the first day we didn't get
nothing going on.
And they started panicking.
Well, because what happens is when we get to an investigation, Barry and I would scout. We would maybe get something that would lead us into, but we didn't have anything to lead us into an investigation.
Right.
So that night, they asked Corey, after the first night of not getting something, they said, hey, Corey, young kid, right? He's formidable.
Yeah.
Can you spend the night? He's like, yeah, sure, yeah, why not? Okay, so he spent the night there by himself. Next morning, because they wanted to see if something happened. Well, the producer apparently came up to him next morning when we got there and said, hey, Corey, did anything happen? Corey said, nope. Played my Xbox, went to sleep, ate a snack, went to sleep. I actually slept comfortably. Nothing happened. Yeah. Producer goes, well, and mind you, this Corey comes running in tow. I don't know this.
He told me before he told you.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Go tell Brad. We're not gonna do
So the
this.
producer says, well, could you at least say you heard some footsteps or something? And he came, that's when he must have told you that he comes running to me. And I went to that producer and I almost kicked his ass, tore into him. I said, no, we're not playing that game. What part of a legit paranormal show investigation? It's like, we're not even going to say that we think we heard something. When we didn't hear it, we didn't hear it.
Right.
If we go out of this investigation and don't get a damn thing, we don't get a damn thing. And the story is what the thing is about.
Right.
Well, the Al executive producer got involved and basically told that producer, nope, we're not doing that. Right. So we won that one, but that was late in season 2, and it seemed like maybe this new set of producers, because that guy I can't remember what his name was, but he was new. Mm-hmm. It almost like that if these new people kept coming in, I think the show would have tried to start going in the direction where they're trying to fabricate, the evidence or at least the situations, and I wasn't going to be a part of that. So, fortunately, I never got to that point.
Well, it's funny. We actually caught pretty good evidence on the episode with the
hologram,
the
racking of the gun,
the racking of the gun, and the gunshot and all that.
It all came like the second day.
Yeah, the second day.
Yeah. Because that's what I'm saying. After the first day, there was
the racking of a gun and a gunshot at a suicide. Come on now.
We're the fucking Klinge Brothers, man. Just chill out. We'll get your shit for you.
Go Slam!
Yeah. Go Slam! Season 3.
No, season 3. Now that's where we call it the bitter end. Okay, you remember this, Steve? So we would film those pickup scenes like we talk about all the time, literally in a hotel parking lot in the city that we're from, in Live Oak.
Right.
Hotel parking lot, right off of 1604. They would pull the Ghost Lab up, and we would do all these multiple pickup scenes from all these different shows for all these transitions.
It's
right?
all from the notes from the producers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we got the word when episode 3.
We got the word the week before Halloween.
It was the Lizzie Borden episode.
The day after Lizzie Borden aired.
That was episode 3 of season 2. Mm-hmm. That's when they didn't cancel us, like they furloughed us.
Yeah, furloughed us.
the word
they
of the
shelved
word
us
of
at
the
2
month.
a.m.
Yeah. Shelved us at 2 a.m., played out the rest of the episodes. But we had the film pickup scenes probably for another, 6-8 weeks?
Yeah.
Or more? So we knew our show was canceled.
You
but
talk
we still
about
had to show up and
depressing.
Film. Yeah.
You're going to film your pickups for a show that's been canceled. You're like, God,
it's hard to get even.
We could not get excited.
Yeah.
You could tell in the scenes they're like, whatever, man,
blah blah blah, whatever,
yeah, whatever.
Fuck y'all.
Yeah, kiss my ass.
Yeah, I think there's something paranormal. Who knows? I don't know.
But
it wasn't like a knife flipped out of the thing or anything.
Yeah. but a lot of people don't know. But everything in that Ghost Lab, we procured the TV screens. We may not have had paid for it. In fact, a lot of that stuff was donated to us by a security company that we designed a lot of the stuff for. Okay. Right. So it did not belong to the production company.
But camcorders and audio recorders.
Barry's personal camcorder.
DVRs. Those are all ours.
We had it every personal
camcorder, yeah.
But, so here's the deal. The very last shoot night, okay, they go in the Ghost Lab, and it's like fucking, they ransacking like a group of Vikings, man.
Yeah, it's like we're
pillaging stuff up. They're pillaging it. We're like, this is our shit. And no, what happens is that the production company bills Discovery Channel for the rental of the trailer and the equipment.
And Discovery wanted an inventory.
They want an inventory. They said if we paid for it, we want.
So if I'm paying rental on this Barry's camcorder, then it's my camcorder,
right?
And they were taking our shit.
They took it. They took everything. And we
what was that guy's name? Remember he came on after Kyle left.
The little skinny guy.
Yeah, we couldn't stand his ass.
He was like a production assistant kind of guy.
I don't remember what he's talking about.
But anyway, we cornered him, and he almost lost his life that night because we literally had him by the shirt, twisted his shirt, had him up in the corner, and getting ready to pummel his ass because it's like, this is our shit. And that's when, they come in and like, no, we have to do this. And they gave us some bullshit that we would get it back, and they just had we never saw any of that again. In fact, what happened is after they ransacked the Ghost Lab, and left it all empty shell. We're sitting there, no show, empty Ghost Lab, and we never heard from anyone again. From one day to the next, no calls from producers, no calls from nothing. They wouldn't return your phone call. They wouldn't do anything. The very next day, that shows you what kind of assholes those guys are.
I mean, they had an office there at that hotel. I mean, just you walk in, just loose papers everywhere.
It was like it never happened.
Like they're just gone.
Or like it was a covert operation or something in CIA. It never happened.
But one cool thing is, so the Ghost Labs, we always stored it here in town. It stayed in storage, and so it just stayed there and stayed there. Finally, we're like, what are y'all doing with the Ghost Lab? Because I'm not paying. I think we were paying for
the storage.
We're like, I'm not paying for this shit. I don't want to show it anymore. So they gave us the Ghost Lab because they made their money 6 times over on that what it cost for that thing when they rented it to Discovery.
So they could just give it to us.
So they gave it to us, and then we sold it.
But that was the end of Ghost Lab, and that old Ghost Lab is still roaming around the backwoods of Texas, wrapped with the Ghost Lab. It
still has the Ghost
probably
Lab
not more than 2 months ago. Someone sent something that said, "Hey, they saw the Ghost
Lab."
It
was up in Snyder, Texas, was the last place. It was actually on the side of the road in Burnett, Texas, at a car lot for sale. Some lady sent me pictures of her standing next to it. Then it's gone, and somebody saw it going down the road up near Snyder, which is up near like Abilene area. Yeah. Going down the road. I don't know what was in it or whatever. It still had the wrap on it and everything. So, but yeah, we have a lot of stories like that. Those are probably the main ones that we can remember.
And I'm sure more will come out as we tell other stories that will remind us of these things. But yeah, for anyone that wants to be on television, be careful, or you get what you ask for sure.
And if you ever find yourself on a TV show, stand your ground, because, like you said, when it's all over, yeah, we don't have a TV show, but our integrity is intact. There's a lot of shows out there. You got puppets out there doing whatever the hell the channels want you to do, not us. And that's probably why we're not on TV, because we stood our ground, and we're not going to do shit that's not right.
And one quick thing is, remember when we got canceled, we demanded a meeting with Discovery Channel, and we got it. And, of course, they were just whatever. They were on the phone. Barry and I, over speakerphone in Silver Spring, Maryland, chewed some executives and other assholes.
We had some ass for lunch, man. Ass for lunch.
But, yep, that's it. That's it for another episode of Death, Texas, and Tacos. Hope you enjoyed wallowing in our misery. But, no, it was fun. Fighting the producers was fun, and like Barry said, we can honestly go to sleep at night saying we didn't bow to the man. And like I say, you ain't the boss of me. So,
bitches.
Well, good night, everybody.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Death, Texas, and Tacos. If you didn't, we don't really give a damn. Now go on and cry to your mama. But we know you'll be back next week for more. Adios, suckers.